Good morning, fifth graders, and happy Tuesday. Welcome back to online learning. I hope you enjoyed your 4.5-day weekend. I hope you had some time to get some things done and be productive. Also, hope you had a lot of quality time with your family. Hopefully, you're able to walk away from the screen and just enjoy yourself, get outside, and you're well rested and you're ready to come back to school this week. Welcome back. So, for your reading, as you know, we've been focusing on with this nonfiction unit is how we look at and determine websites if they are reliable or not. Are they trustworthy? Are they credible? What does it look like and what does it actually mean? Remember, this work is so important because in fifth grade, we're doing a research project now, but in middle school, in high school, in college, there's so many times where you're going to want to research something online and you got to make sure that that it's credible, that the information is right and accurate and trustworthy, and not only for school projects. So many times there are things that are going on in the world that you might want to learn more about, any type of topic at all, and you got to make sure that you are getting the right information. So we're going to continue with that today. We started off by taking notes on a YouTube video talking about what it actually means for something to be credible. Then I gave you 3 websites about school lunches and you answered some questions about them. Today, you are going to find a website about school lunch and answer the same questions and prove to me that it is credible using these questions. How are we going to do that? I'm going to walk you through it today. So again, we are looking for a trustworthy and credible source for school lunches. How are we going to do this? We're going to talk through how we basically research anything. So if we go to Google and I literally type in school lunch, as we know, Google's going to populate and show me all of these different websites. Okay, there might be images at the top, maybe not. So let's talk through what opens up on Google. Remember, just because something is in the very first tab does not necessarily mean it is an important or trustworthy source. I'm going to say that one more time. Just because sources are at the top of a page of Google does not necessarily mean it is a trustworthy or credible source. We have to dive into a website to figure out if this is worthwhile and something that we can trust. So I'm first going to go through some different things that we can look for on a search page to figure out if it is credible. So if we notice on Google, the very top line, this is the actual web address, the www part that normally would be listed up here. We see this here. Now, if we see .com at the end, that stands for like a company. So a type of business that purchased a .com web address. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's a trustworthy business or it's a big, successful business. It just means that a business registered at .com. Okay? Then this one popped up here. This is one that we already used last week for our website that I gave you for our assignment. Now you notice right here, again, the web address is up top. It says .gov. If you see .gov, that means it's a government website. .gov stands for government. So we know that that website is already associated with the government. Now, it probably will be trustworthy because of that, but that doesn't necessarily mean it wants to be a resource that we want to use. So we still want to be thinking through all of these things as we're looking through. Here we have another .com. Here you have a cps.edu. Now, edu means that something, probably a school or something else associated with education, purchased that website. .edu stands for education. So we want to make sure that, again, that doesn't necessarily mean it's something to be used, but something to be thinking about as we're looking through here. And we're going to continue to scroll. We have .net. That's something to do with a network. All right. .org. So that stands for organization. So that's typically maybe a nonprofit organization. So those are the first thing to kind of look for. So we don't want to rush through this assignment. We want to actually take our time to look through what is Google pulling up and what do I actually see. And then of course we have multiple pages down here and search related to school lunch. So I'm going to look through here and think through something, find a website that I think might be credible. So I know that we have school lunch right here, ABC7 Chicago. I recognize that as a station in Chicago, so I'm just going to go ahead and click on that. Remember, it's my job to prove that this is credible. a credible or trustworthy website to use? Is this going to teach me about school lunch in a way that is unbiased, in a way that's showing me experts, in a way that is all of those different questions that we have right here? So what you're going to do is you're going to use the same 7 questions as last week and answer them with your website. But we have to make sure that we are answering them using full sentences. So last week we said yes or no to a lot of them. That's not going to work this time. You have to prove to me that this website is credible by fully answering, meaning full sentences for 1 through 7. The only one that should really have one sentence is only the first one, who's the author or who wrote this source. So for this document, you want to write my school lunch website. That's the name of our lesson today, with your name. And then you can go ahead and copy and paste those 1 through 7 that I'm going to post under your directions. So now I'm going to go back and look here. All right, we have school lunch. Remember, we want to look through the whole website. Some websites have different type of articles, like right here. There's a lot of things I can click on here where we want to look through the website. Sometimes it might say about the author, if it's like a food blog like last week. What's the purpose of this? You want to click different tabs to get the overall feel. So it says school lunch right up here. This is showing me it is the ABC Channel 7 Eyewitness News in Chicago. We have different type of tabs up here. Looks like these are the different areas that I can click on if I want news that's specific to those areas. That's what that's showing me here. Showing me we have like Facebook page, the Twitter, more videos, more news. But what I'm just looking at is full information on my school lunch for this article. Illinois statewide school closure begins, free meals available at CPS. So right there, this is giving me kind of a clue to what the article is going to be about. So this is talking about school lunch in the current pandemic that we're facing right now with the coronavirus. So it looks like, I know that a lot of schools give away school lunches as well as breakfast. FXW does snacks after school. We don't necessarily do breakfast, but a lot of schools are trying to figure out how they can still give their students breakfast and lunch without it being open right now. So Tuesday marks the first day of canceled classes for the public private schools across Illinois due to the COVID-19 pandemic. All right. And then I have a bunch of different things here that I could look through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through here and answer every single question that I can. For the sake of time, I'm not going to click on more things here, but I would want to look for more information. What is this talking about when it comes to school lunch? So remember, if we don't have a specific author, you can just say what the organization or the name of the website, what this is from. So this information is from ABC 7 Eyewitness News. So that can actually write it there for my number 1. Remember, we have to write in full sentences. You have to prove to me that this is a credible source. And if we just say yes, no, Susan, that doesn't give me enough information to show that it's credible. You have to prove it to me. So I'm going to say this source is from ABC 7 Eyewitness News in Chicago. Now, if I read that, that sounds way more credible and looks more credible, and it makes me feel like it's more credible because it, always make sure we double check. This is telling me exactly where it is, what station it is. I understand that it's from where I'm from. So all of these things are helpful. Writing it in a full sentence is going to help give me as much information as possible. Now, remember that when you do this, you're not just clicking on the very first website that you see. I want you to take the time to scroll through. I would love to see as many websites as possible. So feel free to go to the second page and look for even more websites. I want to see as many different websites as I can get. We have another.org here, another.com here. There's a lot of different information you can get. Here's NPR here. So we want to click through and prove to me that it is credible. So what you're going to do also is, let me go back to the one that I picked. So once you answer your questions, you also have to include the link for your website. So again, for the sake of time, I'm not going to go through 1 through 7, but remember that you have to answer them all in full sentences. But then what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to go ahead and copy this website link and just paste it at the bottom. That way I can click on it and I can check that your information is accurate. Don't forget to include the link or I'm going to have you go back and find it. And also, if you have any questions at all while you're going through this website, remember that I do have conferences every day from 1:30 to 2, and I will be on. If you have any questions, I'm here to help you. Just let me know. Otherwise, have a great Tuesday. Bye, everyone.